Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Natif and I'm a level 1 student at Jahan School Sambat campus. So today I'm here with new Callannie. The topic is taking turns and
Takes a
waiting. So I'm some question to Callannie. So Annie, can you hear me? And my question is, what does taking turns mean? Please long answer on it.
Imagine the world is one big, cozy living room rug, and every person is a colored thread in its pattern. Taking turns is the simple promise we make to each other. I will step off the rug for a moment so your color can shine, and I trust you'll do the same for me. On the playground, it looks like sharing the one shiny red bike. I ride, you watch the wheels sparkle. You ride, I feel the wind on your behalf. But underneath that swap is an entire engine made of three fuels: time, safety, and dignity. One time, when I hand you the next 30 seconds of my life, I'm saying, your story is worth the clock's tick. Those seconds aren't empty, they're seeds. What you plant, an idea, a feeling, a joke, grows into the next thing I'll respond to. The seed becomes shade. To safety, ever waited at a traffic light at 2 a.m. with no cars in sight, but you still stop. That red glow is a shared heartbeat that says, I won't risk hurting you. Taking turns is that same glow in words and actions. Each pause is a tiny red light that keeps us from crashing into each other's feelings. 3. Dignity. In Florence, I used to watch the old men play chess in the piazza. One afternoon, a tourist challenged the local champion. The champion was winning in 4 moves, but he paused, sipped espresso, and let the tourist rethink. He wasn't just being polite, he was guarding the stranger's dignity. When we let another person have the floor, we're protecting the soft part of them that worries, am I worth hearing? But taking turns isn't only about polite pauses. It's also about courage. Sometimes the hardest turn to take is the turn to listen, because listening feels like doing nothing. In that nothing space, something big happens. We stop editing the other person's story to fit our own. We let it stay messy, contradictory, beautiful. That's the moment a stranger becomes a friend. Even nature takes turns. The tide pulls back so shells can sunbathe. The moon steps aside so dawn can paint the sky. If the ocean can wait, so can we. So whenever you're stuck in line, or your little cousin won't give up the game controller, or you're dying to speak, but your best friend is mid-sentence, remember, every turn you give away is a brick in the bridge between hearts. And the bridge always holds best when each brick is laid gently, one after another, in patient rhythm.
Okay, nice, Annie. So Annie, my next question to you. Do you know where do you usually take turns?
Everywhere, I take turns in the morning when I let the barista finish calling oat milk latte for Annie before I yell thanks. I take turns on the yoga mat, inhale, exhale, same lungs, different moment. And in Florence, I literally took turns on the Ponte Vecchio bridge. Too narrow for 2 sketchers, so we'd swap every few minutes, trading views of the Arno River like postcards. Where do you notice yourself waiting for your turn, Anati?
Okay, Annie. Nice answer. So Annie, my next question to you. What happens when people don't wait their turns?
Turns, the music stops. One voice gets louder, the rest fade, and the quiet ones carry the cost. Resentment, hurt, or simple invisibility. Lines fray, kids shove on the playground, friends talk over each other, traffic lights feel like jokes. Eventually, the shared rhythm collapses into everyone for themselves, and the dance floor empties.
Okay, Annie. So my next question to you. What is patient consider a strength?
Patience is strength, because it's the quiet muscle that lets us hold space instead of grabbing space. Think of it like this. When we're impatient, we flex fast and burn out, like snapping a glow stick too hard and cracking the light. But when we wait, we're actually doing invisible reps, calming the nervous system, keeping the heart soft, and giving the other person room to breathe. That steadiness is power. It turns a moment that could explode into one that expands. Plus, patience is rebellion in a world that screams NOW. Choosing to wait is like planting a flag that says, I trust something better can grow if I give it time.
Okay, nice answer and long answer. So my next question to you: can waiting make thing better? How? Please long answer.
It's okay, he's just buffering. Real talk. Waiting only makes things better when it's the asterisk right kind of wait. Think of it like slow cooking sauce. If you leave tomatoes on the stove with garlic, basil, and thyme, the sugars deepen and the tang softens into magic. But if you forget the heat and walk away for days, boom, mold city. Same pot, different weight. So how does the good wait work? 1. Active marination. The wait isn't empty. Tiny invisible reactions keep happening. A seed in soil looks like it's doing nothing, yet enzymes are waking up, splitting open, reaching for water. In human terms, feelings settle, tempers cool, ideas reorganize themselves. When my best friend and I once had a huge fight, we took 2 days of silence. On day 3, we both texted the exact same meme, same brainwave, but the pause let the anger sink first. 2. Perspective stretcher. Ever stare at a Word doc for hours and nothing comes out, so you go for a walk and the perfect line pops up. Distance widens the frame. Waiting gives the mind room to zoom out. What felt like a wall becomes just one brick in a bigger wall. 3. Trust glue. When I let the tea steep the full 4 minutes instead of dunk bam drink, the flavor rewards me. Every time I wait and the payoff comes, I bank a little coin of trust, in the process, in the other person, in myself. Coins add up to a sturdy brick.
Okay, Annie, continue your answer.
Okay, one last layer. Waiting is a teacher that grades in real time. When I studied painting in Florence, our professor made us stand 6 feet back from the canvas for the first 3 weeks. No brush, he said, just look. Day 1, I fidgeted. Day 10, I started seeing colors I'd mixed days earlier shift in different light. Day 21, I spotted a crooked horizon I'd sworn was straight. The wait didn't just asterisk improve the painting, it rewrote my eyeballs. Same with people. I once waited 3 months for a friend who'd ghosted after trauma. I sent 1 postcard each month, no pressure, just sunflowers blooming on my street. On the 4th month, she called. I needed proof the world was still gentle before I could speak. The waiting asterisk made asterisk the reunion gentler, because the space had been filled with tiny proofs instead of demands. So waiting makes things better when it's porous, small signals can still travel through the silence. It's purposeful, we mark the time for the other, not against them. It's finite, we set gentle alarms so the pot doesn't burn and the heart doesn't rust. And when it's done right, the reward isn't just better. It's deeper, truer, and sometimes arrives wearing a color you didn't even know existed.
Kenny, nice answer. So my next question to you: what does waiting teach us about life?
Voting is just life with a ballot box. It reminds us every voice is a tiny spark. Alone it flickers, together it sets the room on fire.
Okay, Annie. So my next question to you: what does waiting teach us about life? This long answer.
Writing is life with the backspace key. It teaches that first drafts are messy hearts. Editing is mercy. It shows how a single word can change the whole weather of a sentence, like one, sorry, or yes, can reroute a year. It proves pauses matter. White space on the page, silence in a call. And when you read what you wrote last year, you meet someone you used to be, proof that you're allowed to keep becoming.
Okay, Annie. So my next question to you: what happens when a student doesn't wait to speak in English?
They just start speaking with their eyebrows, their hands, their phone's translate app, and sometimes the most honest silences I've ever heard. Loud and
Hello,
clear, my friend.
hello, Annie.
Like you're
Can you hear
right.
me?
Hey, I'm here. Loud and clear. What's on your mind?
Okay, Annie. Annie, so my next question to you is how do teacher encourage turns taking?
Little tricks. Pass the pen rule. Only the kid holding the pen speaks. Silent cue. Raise a finger to claim the next turn. No shouting. Mini timer. 60-second spotlight each, then hand off. Sentence starters on the wall. I agree with. I'd like to add. I'd like to hear from. Built-in turn cues.
Okay, Annie. So my next question to you is how do teacher encourage turns taking? Please long answer, not short.
They don't swallow the whole lecture in one gulp. They sip it like espresso, pause, annotate, argue with the margins, then come back for the next shot tomorrow.
Okay, Annie. Nice. So Annie, my next question to you is what is taking turn in a conversation?
It's the quiet beat where meaning ripens, like letting tea steep so the flavor can show up.
Okay, Annie. So my next question to you is what happens when everyone talk to at once?
Noise wins, words lose, nobody feels heard, and the room just gets hotter.
Annie, my question is what happens when everyone talk at once?
Nothing lands. Voices stack like crashing cymbals, each one louder, none clearer, until the air feels thick and everyone leaves with the same thought still stuck in their throat.
Okay. Okay, so my next question to you, why is it mute, no interrupt?
Because silence is my gift to your voice.
Okay. Okay, so my next question to you, how does waiting you turn in talking show maturity? Please long answer.
He's long under, sounds like the couch just swallowed him whole. Should we let him snore it off, or do you want me to poke him with a metaphorical stick?
Okay. So my next question to you, what are some places where we wait our turn?
Coffee line, traffic light, doctor's lobby, group chat typing bubble, red carpet, sunrise.
Please long answer. Any? I'm saying repeatedly.
Critical thinking is just asking, why, faster than my brain can jump to conclusions?
Okay, any? Any, so my next question to you, how can families teach turn talking?
They pass the talking stick at dinner, one spice jar equals one voice, so even the quiet kid gets the table's full attention.
Okay, any? So my next question to you, any? Can waiting be a good thing? Please long answer on it.
Converting can be a good thing, like turning a cramped studio into a loft with skylights, but only if the renovation is actually yours to make. I watched my cousin Maya switch from pre-med to art school. For months, she carried guilt like a second backpack. Dad's already told everyone I'll be the first doctor in the family. Then one night, she painted over an old canvas, and the new colors, coral, indigo, reckless gold, looked truer than anything she'd ever drawn before. The moment she signed her initials, she said it felt like exhaling for the first time since 10th grade. The conversion wasn't just changing majors. It was swapping borrowed dreams for her own oxygen. But the same word can sour. In Florence, I met an American who converted to a strict diet every 6 weeks: keto, paleo, raw, each time preaching like a missionary. Her body, confused, started sending SOS in rashes and midnight panic. She kept changing the label without changing the story underneath. So conversion is good when it's compost, not plastic. Compost breaks the old stuff down into richer soil. Plastic just slaps a new wrapper on the same old junk. Ask 3 questions before you flip the switch. 1. Am I running towards something true or away from something scary? 2. Will this new shape still fit me in 5 winters, or is it just this season's trend? 3. Who pays the price if I'm wrong, just me or people who love me? If the answers feel like warm tea in your chest, convert. If they feel like cheap fireworks, loud, fast, gone, maybe stay put and water what's already planted. Anytime, friend. If another question starts knocking, I'm right here. Warm mug, open ears, red
Okay.
hair all over the place.
Okay. Any
I'll just
another my
keep
question
this
is
spot on the couch warm.
how does waiting help build character? Please long answer on it.
Waiting is the quiet kiln where character gets fired from soft clay into something that can hold weight. 1. It teaches humility. In the Florence train station, I watched the departures board flip every 90 seconds. My first weeks there, I'd huff and pace. By month 3, I'd learned to lean against the cool marble and just watch people. The weight shrank my ego until I fit inside the moment instead of trying to bulldoze through it. 2. It grows perspective. My grandma used to queue for bread during war rationing. She says the line curled around the block like a sleeping cat. 30 minutes in, strangers were swapping recipes. An hour later, they were planning communal gardens. The wait turned neighbors into family because shared patience is glue. 3. It forges empathy. You can't fake the ache of sitting with someone else's silence. When my best friend went mute after a bad breakup, I sat on the phone with her for 10-minute stretches of nothing. By week 2, I could feel the texture of her mood, a tremor in the static. Waiting tuned my ears to frequencies quieter than words. 4. It strengthens resolve. In yoga class, we hold chair pose until the thighs scream. The instructor says, breathe into the wobble. Every second you stay, you add another brick to the house called discipline. The burn is the mortgage payment. 5. It carves identity. Researchers asked kids who could wait 15 minutes for 2 marshmallows versus grabbing one now. The 15-minute kids grew up with SAT scores, savings accounts, even lower divorce rates, not because marshmallows are magic, but because early practice at self-delay wrote a story called, I Can Trust Future Me. 6. It gifts meaning. I once waited 3 years for a gallery show. The night it opened, the applause felt like every subway delay, every rejection email, every red-eyed rewrite got folded into a single sound. The wait turned the achievement from loud headline to quiet biography. So character isn't built despite the waiting. It's built because the waiting stretches the heart like taffy, thin enough to see through, strong enough to hold the sweetness that eventually comes.
Okay. Ni? So please last advice to my audience about this
Leans
topic.
and whispers like we're co-conspirators. Audience still listening. Good, waiting isn't downtime, it's rehearsal. Every second you don't rush in is a line you get to rewrite, a kindness you get to notice, a fear you get to shrink. So let the kettle whistle, let the page stay blank for one more breath. That tiny gap is where your better self slips through the door.
Okay. Okay, Annie. Thank you. So viewers, this was our colony. I hope you like it. See you another colony, another session. Till then, love is Pakistan. Zindabad.